Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sanctuary. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sanctuary. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas.
Yes, good day everyone and welcome to another Vlogmas episode. We're now down to Vlogmas day 18. Wow, and today we're going to talk about food. Yes, yummy food that we can actually prepare and how to prepare for the coming Christmas, right? It's almost 7 days till Christmas and 14 days till the new year, right? So joining me today, okay, is actually about we're going to be talking about barbecue. So how is your food preparation coming along? And for us, most of us, barbecue is always part of our everyday celebration. And so we are blessed to actually have with us, okay, Kenyatta Robinson of Okay, hold on. Kenyatta Robinson of Smokemaster, Backyard Smokemaster Barbecue. All right. So, okay, hold on. Okay, there is something going on with my the screen has died down. Hold on, guys. Okay. Okay. So how is everybody today? Traffic and all? Okay. So again, so we are blessed to have Backyard Smoke Master Barbecue's very own Kenyatta. And Kenyatta is a self-taught barbecue enthusiast, passionate about supporting the growing community of backyard barbecue cooks. So just like me, his interest in barbecue started as a casual hobby and has since grown into a way of life. He owns, how many do you think he owns, right? So he owns more than a dozen grills and smokers, including a stick burner, drum smokers, kettles, and ceramic grills. Wow, I didn't even realize there were so many kinds of grills, right? So Kenyatta's mission is to actually help people who want to learn and improve their barbecue skills through coaching, videos, and digital media. So it's really perfect that we can have him today on the show. So without further ado, let's welcome first time on Mommy Guide Inc. for Vlogmas Day at 18, Kenyatta Robinson. Hi, Kenyatta.
Hey, Lala, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to
Yes.
be here.
Thank you so much, Kenyatta. what do you call this? My camera somehow died on me, so I had to like, okay, so how to do this? Okay, let me see. So sorry about that
No,
one, Kenyana. Thank you so much. It's
you,
actually evening for you right now, right?
it is. Yeah, it's a little bit past 7 p.m. I'm in California in the United States.
All right. So Kenyatta is in the US. And so let's say hi first to the people in the chat. Of course, we have Super Floop, my dear daughter and moderator. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And if you are watching on replay. Wow, day 18 already. It will be in the new year in no time. Exactly. And Marlon W. Hi, Marlon. I think now good evening also for Marlon. Yes. So even during my crafty shows at 8 p.m. here, it's like 4 a.m. for her. She has always been in, the beginning of the chat. So thank you so much, Marlon W. She's part of our eCam community as well.
Oh,
Kenyatta,
great,
ayan. And Sir
great, great.
Norman, thank you for sharing. Ayan. Miss Wims and Miss Marlin. Okay, and hi Kenyatta, excited to have you here with us. All right. So food is something that most Filipinos and most of my community actually really loves, Kenyatta. Specifically BBQ or barbecue, right? So we call
That's
it BBQ also here, barbecue. So how did you actually, get into barbecue, okay, or specifically doing barbecue on your backyard?
Well, it actually happened for me by listening to my father-in-law. My father-in-law would, we would go visit him, and he would talk about, how he would smoke these ribs on the smoker for like 8 hours. And he could back it up. The ribs were really great. They were fall off the bone tender,
Oh wow.
and he would just be bragging so much about his ribs. And, I thought, well, shoot, if he can do it, I can do that too. So I took a chance and, I bought myself a smoker. And, basically, just like there's so much stuff on YouTube. So I just kind of started watching some other people on YouTube and how they were doing, barbecue and smoking. And what I found was I really, really enjoyed it. It gave me a reason to be, outside in my backyard. um and it started to just made sense to me, the process. There's steps that you take, and it really just spoke to me, and it gave me a sense of accomplishment. And of course, best of all, I was making really good food over time. I got, some of the first stuff I made wasn't that great, but over time, I got better and better, and my family enjoyed it. And from there it just became like a way of life for me to incorporate barbecue into our daily, our cooking. It
Exactly.
was just something I enjoy.
So the way Kenyatta talks about, doing, preparing food, okay, preparing barbecue is something very similar to us crafters, right? So it's like we're so passionate about it that we basically can talk about, our crafting the whole day,
Yeah,
every day, right? So the same
yeah.
thing with you. And it started out as inspiration was your father-in-law, and that those, as we call in the Philippines, pogi points. You know what pogi means, Kanyara?
No, no, tell me.
Pogi means handsome points, right?
Ah, okay,
Handsome points for
okay.
your FIL, father-in-law, right? Oh, my
Yeah,
son-in-law likes barbecue just as I do, right? But in your case,
yeah.
it really became something like a great passion of yours, to the
it
point that
it
you have
did.
actually now have a channel about it, right?
That is correct.
All right. So can maybe you can tell us about a little bit about your channel.
Sure, sure. So the channel is called Backyard Smokemaster BBQ, or barbecue. If you look it up on YouTube, it's just put in Backyard Smokemaster BBQ.
Mm-hmm.
And so after I kind of got bit by the barbecue bug, I found myself, buying, a few more smokers, a few more grills. And one thing that I really wanted to work my way up to was what they call an offset smoker, or also known as a stick burner. So these are like the really big, they're really big. They're made out of thick steel. They're like, approaching 1,000 pounds in total weight. So they're expensive. So I saved my money and I got my first stick burner. It had to be shipped to me in California from Texas.
Wow.
I waited. It took time. You just don't go on the internet, order it, and you get it the next week. I actually had to wait. I want to say around 6 months before I actually received the stick burner at my home. And when it arrived, I was so excited, and my daughter was with me, and I asked her to just, take our little phone,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted her to video the delivery of the stick burner. And it was so funny. I think the person who was delivering it, he must have been kind of new at the job, because he just seemed really unsure. And she got all of this on video, and you can actually see this on my channel. But when he was trying to lower the stick burner from the back of the truck,
Uh-huh.
it was kind of on the very edge of the little lift gate that goes up and down,
Oh
and
my.
it was swaying
Wobbling.
from left to right. And I kept thinking, oh my God, I've waited so long, and this guy is going to let my stick burner come crashing to the
Oh
ground.
my
So
gosh.
I ran over, and I tried to hold it up to keep it from falling. And of
Uh-huh.
course, if it fell, I would have just been completely crushed, because this thing is, like I said, it's almost 1,000 pounds.
Exactly.
But I showed this clip, I shared it on YouTube, and it got a reaction. I just shared it, because I thought it was funny. But people started asking me about this smoker, all types of different questions. And then I decided to make a follow-up video where, I just kind of did like a walk around and talked about all the features of the stick burner and why I wanted it. And it just kind of took off. And from
Wow.
there, yeah, people just seemed really interested. And from there, I decided, I'll just keep making more videos about things, and see if people react to it. That was back in 2018. And I've been doing videos, ever
Ever
since. And
since. That's
that's
so
pretty much how the
awesome.
channel got started.
Awesome. See, the way you started actually your content creation journey wasn't even something that you actually planned, right? This was
Exactly.
just something that you were enjoying, and then you accidentally just took a video of this, of course, because it's a milestone. You've waited so long for this, and then people just started asking, and so that's a great inspiration also for a lot of us who probably would also want to start your own content creation journey, but somehow are afraid to do so. So look at what happened to Kenyatta, right? It's not even something that he really actually planned to do, but
Not at
he started
all.
getting reactions and saw that, oh, actually people are interested in what I am interested about. So that's how it all
Exactly.
started. All right. So before we
Exactly.
continue on Kenyatta, let's see again the chat. Norman is here. Hi, Sir Norman. He's one of the biggest supporters of almost everybody in the community. Thank you, Sir Norman, for sharing.
Hey,
And
Norman.
yes. Hi. Okay, this one I already. Oh, and Laura. Oh my. Hi, Laura. How have you been? We should have Laura soon also here on Mommy Guide. Hi, Laura. How are you? And she's also saying hello to you, Kenyatta. And of
Oh,
course,
cool.
our
Hi,
dear
Laura.
friend, Kenyatta. What's cooking,
Ah,
kids?
there's Adam. Hey, Adam. Good to see you, buddy.
Yes, our dear friend Coach Adam in the chat, who also loves to do barbecue. He also has an amazing backyard, actually, right?
He
All right,
does.
so
He does.
okay, so the kind of barbecue that you eventually, got really passionate about is the one that you do in the backyard, because it actually uses this grill. Do you call it a smoker, a griller? What's the proper way of calling
So,
that?
okay. So, a grill can also be a smoker. So, it can be
Mm,
used interchangeably. But let me try and give you like a definition. So,
okay, this
when
is
it
good.
comes to barbecue, Smoking is when you're cooking food at temperatures of 275 degrees and or less, like usually between 225 and 275.
Is this
That's when you're
Celsius or
smoking.
Fahrenheit? Celsius.
Oh, we'll say that again.
Celsius?
Oh,
275.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 225 to 275 Fahrenheit.
Oh, Fahrenheit.
Um,
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure what that converts to Celsius.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Let me
yeah,
check.
I wish I had like a quick, uh, you know, way to see how that translates to Celsius. But if you're cooking at like 325 degrees and
Mm-hmm.
up, especially when you get up close to like 400 degrees Fahrenheit, that's grilling. So grilling is high
Mm.
temperature cooking and smoking is low temperature cooking. And the benefit of smoking at those lower temperatures is that it does give the flavors, that's imparted from the smoke, the wood that you're using in the process. It gives it more opportunity to adhere to the meat, the food that you're actually cooking. So that's a kind of a technical explanation of the difference between smoking and grilling. So some of my grills, some of my cookers are, more built for high temperature grilling, and then some are specifically for smoking at those lower temperatures.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're kind of blurry your video. I don't know if it's just my end. Do you see that it's
Well, you look great on my end. On my
how
end,
about
everything looks pretty clear.
okay, okay. So maybe it's just, there you go. My internet um going bonkers again on my side. So that is actually a little bit technical for probably people say, but it's very much needed, right? Because temperature control or knowing at what temperature you actually need to create nice, amazing barbecue is very important, right, Kenyatta? So having known this,
Yes,
or is it?
yeah. Well, it is important in terms of what your goals are. So, one thing about barbecue, and I know people kind of get a little bit, you know, anxious or they get confused or what have you, but barbecue it's really a lot like just cooking, in an oven. I mean, there are
Oh, okay.
a ton of ways to get to your desired output. There's no necessarily one right way, and that's what I love about barbecue. There are many different ways, to get from point A to point Z.
Ah,
And
that's
your
nice.
way might be different from mine. It may not follow exactly what I, talk about in my videos, and that is perfectly fine, perfectly okay. And actually, in barbecue, you're encouraged to actually try different things, because that's how you discover great combinations of seasonings, of rubs, marinades,
It's really
what have.
making me hungry.
Yeah, so but experimentation is completely welcome in barbecue. The key is just, keep at it, don't get
Okay.
discouraged, and keep trying different combinations until you get to, you get the output that you really like and that really, works well for you and your
Mm-hmm.
family.
Yeah, so
So,
that's a great advice, right? So although temperature is important, but what Kenyatta is saying, guys, is that feel free, okay, to be more creative, okay, to try out different things, maybe not just the recipe, but also, try it at this temperature, what you think is better, because maybe the meat we have here is a little bit different from the kind of meat that they have
yeah.
there, right? So the
Yeah.
thickness, the quality, the kind, from the source, so all of those things, so it's like there's no like one right way. So I like
That's
that
right.
Kenyatta said that there are many ways to go
Many
through it.
ways,
Yes.
many ways, and use what's available to you. Don't go out of your way trying to find that one rub that maybe somebody in a YouTube video was using. If you can find something that's similar or compatible or just something that you like, that's perfectly fine. But getting back to your initial question about the importance of controlling the temperature, so that
Mm-hmm.
is important. So if your goal is to smoke something, then you do want to learn how to control your smoker or grill. You
Mm-hmm.
want to learn how to control the temperature to keep it within that range of temperatures that will allow you the best opportunity to add smoke flavor to your food. So again, if we're talking Fahrenheit, it's between 225
Yeah.
275 degrees. But
So I
that's
looked
really
that
the
up,
the
Kenyatta.
big
That's
key.
about 100 to 130 degrees Celsius. Because here we have
Okay.
Celsius, right?
And
So
I'm gonna write that down because that's
there you go.
important. So
So
100 to
so it's about
130
100 to
degrees.
130. Okay, so that one for us
Celsius.
Celsius. Okay, but those who
Yeah.
have ovens, most of the ovens though here are in Fahrenheit. But the
I
others
see.
normally we use Celsius. So that's a great advice. So I know guys, everybody in the chat is like, oh my goodness, they're all getting hungry because of this one. So Adam says, I love to buy barbecue. Now we try to cook the barbecue, Adam. Okay, I don't know the first thing about making it, but I sure love eating it. The same Kenya. I mean, Adam. That's why I
Mm.
love. It's amazing that we can have Kenyatta, so we can try and learn how to do this and maybe do it for the holidays. All this barbecue is making me hungry, says Marlin.
Oh, that's
And
great.
Miss Wims is saying, cooking barbecue for holidays, I think, is more fun and less preparation than other food we serve here
Mm.
in the Philippines. Yes, like normally for the holidays here in the Philippines, Kenyatta, we have a lot of rice cakes, and then we also have lots of meat preparations like murkon and all of these things that takes a long time to actually prepare. And barbecue is something that a lot of us like to do, but then as I said, it's always that same recipe. And we don't know that we can actually have different recipes, so we would want to ask you about that in a little bit. Okay, now Wims is saying, I'm craving for some gyupsal. Do you know some gyupsal, Kenyara?
I'm not
Have you
familiar
heard of
with
it?
it.
Okay, so it's a Korean thing. So it's, I think when you say some gyupsal, it means it's grilled. It's like they grill it in front of you. So you
Okay.
have like a grilling station in
Yes.
front of your table, and then they give you all the raw meats and stuff,
Oh yeah.
and then you
Yeah,
grill
we
it
have that.
yourself. Yes, and
Yeah, we
eat
have
it.
restaurants here in the United States where
Yes.
yeah, you watch
Exactly.
them
So when if you don't have
cooked
it
right
at
in
home
front of you.
and then you want to, like, okay, you want to have grilled vegetables or meat, so you go to that kind of restaurant. So here now
Yes.
Kenyatta is gonna show you how to do it, so you don't need to go to a restaurant. There you go. Kenyatta is probably the coolest person I know next to Lala. Adam.
Oh,
Adam is
thanks,
really so
Adam.
funny. And hi Laura
We're
and
not
Adam. I
paying
love
Adam, by the
ex-
way. We're not paying
exactly.
him, but we appreciate the compliment.
Thank you, Adam. He's a dear friend of ours. That's why he can joke about this kind of stuff. And of course, Adam has been in our community as well, twice already. All right. So, and we really love Adam as well. So, see, all my friends, our community, okay, our community has
Yeah,
also,
that's awesome.
yes, embraced, and now also their friends.
So
Kenyatta, you're
let me
making my
just say
mouth water.
one thing, Lala. Let me just say one thing. So also when it comes to barbecue, honestly, you can cook anything on a barbecue, on a grill or a smoker. Like I said, it's it's really the same as using your oven. It's just a matter of figuring out, learning how to control the temperature,
Uh
so
huh.
you can make desserts. You can make your breakfast. You know, I mean, anything you think of that you can do in an oven, you can also do it on a barbecue grill or smoker. The one difference is just, obviously you're going to be outside,
Uh-huh.
And what using a smoker will do is it will add just that extra ingredient of smoke flavor. And everything else can be similar. Even the preparation that you do can be the exact same. It's just, you're getting that one extra ingredient of smoke.
Okay. Yes, and that smoke actually makes it a little bit more yummier,
Yeah,
tastier, and amazing, right? Than the one that
that's
is
right.
actually just, in an oven. That's why we love grilling here. And it's healthier, right? Healthier option because you don't put, oil and all of those things, right? So, next question, Kenyatta, is okay, so you know that of course you need to have for the basics of grilling, you need to have a grill or a smoker, okay, and you need to have the food. As you said, we can do anything. I didn't know that. Most of the time when I think of barbecue, it's meat,
Yeah,
pork or steak or a beef, right? Or maybe vegetables, but basically anything, even breakfast, we can grill, right? Oh,
you
maybe grill
can.
sandwich. like,
Yeah, you
like that.
can. You get a cast iron, a cast iron skillet, put it on
Mm-hmm.
top of the grill. You can make, eggs or whatever. Yeah, you can
Even
absolutely
eggs.
do breakfast. Yes.
Okay, so all you need just a little bit of a backyard, and most of us naman here have backyards, even those who are in actually the city. So the next question is, how do you prepare for grilling, whether it be pork or beef? Okay, is there a proper way of preparing all your, so to speak, raw materials when you prepare them for
Mhm.
grilling? Is there such a
So
thing?
so I would say it's again it's similar to when you're cooking, in the house. I say the first important thing is the preparation. You do need to make some decisions about you know um, how you want to prepare the food. So there are advantages, to marinating something
Mm-hmm.
or, brining something in advance, because you're giving, the salt and the different, rubs the opportunity to, you know, kind of sweat out the meat or adhere to the meat. Um, but there's no one exact way to do it. It's really what you like, what your end goal is. I guess
Mm.
my advice though is just when you want to grill something or smoke something in advance. For me, usually I have the best results when I start the prep like the night before. When
Mm.
if you wait until like 30 minutes or 1 hour before you actually want to fire up the grill, that's when you're more likely to be disappointed with the end result. So make those decisions early on of what you're trying to accomplish and do the prep work in advance, and then that will make the entire process go better and your food will end up tasting better.
Yeah, like me. Sometimes I like, oh, I want this. So out of the freezer into the frying pan or into, so not
Yeah.
like that, right? So it needs to be thawed properly, right? So to prep, it's
Yes.
like you don't grill with the ice on.
I mean, there's some like you can do a frozen steak. There are processes
Oh,
to,
there
you
are.
can take a frozen steak and put it on the grill. Now, I haven't personally tried it, but I have, I have heard about it, and you can do that if you're really pinched for time. But yeah, my recommendation is to, do your prep,
Mm-hmm.
in advance,
So I didn't
early.
even know that you can actually
Yeah,
have like see, there are many ways to, because as I
that's
was
right.
telling Kenyatta prior to coming live, I said the only way, the most okay common barbecue we have here in the Philippines, or for most Filipinos, is it's marinated. Okay, so and then um and then while it's cooking, we add a little bit of sauce every now and then, and it's a little bit
Hmm.
sweet, salty, spicy, all in. But that's a kind of Filipino barbecue that we have. But when I started watching Kenyatta's videos and live streams, I realized, oh my gosh, there are actually many other recipes for barbecue, which I didn't know. He mentioned about rubs, right? So what are rubs? I heard you mention it a few times a while back. So
Yeah.
maybe they want to know what is a rub.
It's just seasoning. It's just
Okay.
another word for seasoning. That's all it is. I guess you might hear something called a rub because it might be like a combination of different seasonings. So it could be like a combination of salt, pepper, garlic, paprika. It's just different combinations in one container. And so they'll sell
Mm,
something called a rub, and you can you know,
mm,
so it's like kind of like instead of having to get like a tablespoon of
mm.
salt and a tablespoon of
Oh, it's
paprika,
already
you know, you-
prepared.
yeah, you have it already in one container, and they'll
Okay,
call it a rub.
correct.
But that's all it is. It's just seasonings.
Okay. So, and we have Roy. Hi, Roy. Thank you so much for dropping by. And Ate Margie, thank you for sharing and dropping by. So, guys, when you watch Kenyatta's videos, sometimes you will hear and you will see him as one say Rob on some of the videos or most of the videos. But as Kenyatta said, don't lose hope that, oh, we don't have it here in the Philippines, we don't have that, because that is just basically a combination of different seasonings. So maybe if
Exactly.
it's not available locally, we can, as Kenyatta said, find what you have there, right?
That's
And
right.
then you try to experiment. Maybe you can have or you can attain the same one. Look at the ingredients, if you can find those, and then you can come up with your own rub, right, so to
Yes.
speak. Yes. So I said, but I wanted the actual rub. Kenyatta was using. It looks so yummy, right? So and then if
Right. Right.
eventually you have options. We have Amazon. We have local specialty, stores that maybe they also have it. So now we're going down to
Right.
the recipe and getting really hungry about this one. So Kenyatta, so before we move on to the latter part of our show for today, I know that barbecue is easier to prepare than most. Okay, than most probably dishes that you want to prepare for the holiday. But then I know there are challenges. So what are the usual challenges, or basically the do's and don'ts in grilling, or making barbecue, so that we always come up with awesome results when we do our barbecue?
Hmm. That's a good question. So, like we already talked about one don't, which is, don't wait until the last minute to,
Okay,
start
correct.
your preparation. Um, I would say, that's a really good question, because I really think it's kind of similar to just cooking in general. But I think with barbecue, I think some of the things I would recommend, obviously, safety first.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, the, in terms of making sure you're handling food safely. Wear disposable gloves. Always continuously wash your hands. And then also when you're manipulating hot food, or you're out there with obviously fire and coals, at the same time you want to use um, protective gloves that will protect your hands from high
Mm,
heat. um, Trying to think of other things. um, those are the first main things that
mm.
come to mind. But I think it's really kind of just similar things, in cooking in general. Though it's really
So
not that
preparation,
different.
safety, right? Concerns, all of those things. And normally whatever we also encounter in cooking, the same thing we'll be encountering here. So maybe
That's
like
right.
one thing, okay, that we I actually encounter is the meat outside is burned, but inside is not yet cooked.
Okay,
So
I'm
what
glad
am I
you
doing
said
that
that.
is wrong?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I forgot about that one. So I highly recommend, and I recommend this not just for barbecue, but even when you're cooking inside your house. buy an instant read thermometer. Just a thermometer, and I wish I had one right next to me. But a thermometer that, it has like a metal tip. They
Ah,
call it
okay.
the probe, and you insert it into the food. And most of the instant read thermometers now, they have digital readouts, and it'll show you on the little screen that's attached to the metal probe. It will tell
Uh-huh.
you what the temperature inside of your meat is. So you do want to make sure that you are cooking your food until, it reaches safe internal temperatures. So for instance, if you're cooking chicken, if
Mm-hmm.
you're doing it like in the United States, you want to cook it to at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit inside, of the chicken itself, to make sure that it's not raw.
Mm-hmm.
um and then if you're cooking steaks, people like their steaks to different levels of doneness. Some like rare, some like medium rare, some like well done.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the only way that you'll know exactly what temperature that steak is on the inside is to use an instant read thermometer. I don't care who tells you, you cannot just look at a steak and know exactly what that temperature is inside. You need some way of being able, at least I think you need some way to be able to see exactly what that temperature is. So, and
Oh.
I would recommend that everyone go get an instant read thermometer. You can, if you're shopping on Amazon, they're obviously just like everything. Some things are very inexpensive, and you can get some that are more expensive, but they don't cost that much, to get something
Yeah.
that will, you know, take some of that mystery out of, whether or
Yeah, so
not
it's
you cooked
very,
your food
it's very
properly.
frustrating and very embarrassing to like, wow, you serve your barbecue, it looks so yummy and nice, and then when you start eating it so hard, and then you
Oh
see
yeah.
blood come out because it's not yet cooked,
Oh.
right? So we call it like
Right.
bloody chicken. So that is, again, something that, as Kenyatta said, we need to have that thermometer. Okay, so obviously when you stick it into it, and then he said about the chicken is about 165. That's about 73. 74 degrees Celsius here for us. So if you see that it's lower, then probably it's not yet cooked. Is that a
It's
safe
not, yeah. And you don't
generalization?
want to mess around with chicken, with poultry,
Mm-hmm.
turkey. You do want to make sure that it gets to, those temperature levels before you serve it.
Yeah, so
Um, a
there.
lot of times, when you're cooking steak or other types of beef, you'll hear, if you watch video like YouTube videos about
Mm-hmm.
barbecue and cooking, you might hear the person talk about, after you pull the meat off of the grill, you want to let it rest, let the meat rest before you begin to cut into it. And basically what that does is, once you take that meat off of the grill, it still continues to cook on the inside, even though it's off of the
Oh.
grill, off of the smoker. So it will, like, maybe over the next 15 minutes, the temperature might continue to rise inside another 4 or 5 degrees, before it begins to just stabilize and cool off. And also what that resting process does is it also allows kind of like those juices inside of the meat to settle.
Oh,
So that's
wow.
what's really really cool is, after you've let the meat rest and you are finally ready to cut into it, and you see the guy on YouTube, he holds it up and you see all this juice, coming out
Uh-huh.
of the meat. That's how you accomplish that. So take that into account as well. That the temperature on the inside of the meat will continue to cook slowly,
Mm-hmm.
after you take it off of the grill or the smoker.
Wow. Okay. I didn't realize that, right? Normally after you grill, okay, serve. Okay. They're hungry.
Right.
Serve. That, we actually lose, the additional flavor and yumminess and texture and all of those things that we can actually get if it's properly prepared, meaning we even have to let it sit, as you what's the
Yes.
term again, Kenyatta? Let it
Let it rest.
let it rest there, not let
Let
it
it rest.
let it
Yeah.
rest, okay, for a bit. Okay,
So
and
that's another thing in barbecue
mhm,
is be patient. Be
patience.
patient with the cooking process. Be patient even when you pull the meat off of the grill or the smoker. Be patient, let it rest, let it sit. And then, most important of all, be patient with yourself. Don't
Oh.
expect perfection and don't beat yourself up over mistakes. Um, every time I cook, there's always something that I'm thinking, oh, I should have did this or I should have did that. So instead of, kind of beating myself up about it, because usually the people that eat it, they still think it's just the best thing ever.
Yeah,
What I try to do is also just take notes. Take
we're the
notes about
worst critic of ourselves, right?
we're our worst critics, and yeah, take notes of things that you observed while you were cooking.
Yeah.
And like, just if you have your phone, just add it to the notes app, or if you have a piece of paper, just jot it down. And then refer back to that the next time
Mm.
you're cooking the same food. And that way you kind of, you're learning as you go and you're getting better. So be observant, and
Be
take
patient.
notes.
See,
That would be another tip.
doing barbecue even, improves, actually improve our own, personality. Patience, right?
Yeah,
Okay, we learn patience because you have to be
that's
very
right.
patient with it. Okay, and Roy is in the chat saying, make your own rubs.
That's
It
right.
is easy and usually ingredients you already have. Ask him for a rub recipe. We will be doing that in a little bit. And he actually has several on his channel that we will show in a little bit. Adam says, tip, not everything cooks at the same time and temperature. Absolutely. Now I
That's
learned
right.
that the hard way, right? Okay, because I often get really lousy barbecues because number one, I'm really not patient. It's like, oh, this looks okay now. All right, let's go eat, right? So that's
Right.
why one of the reasons I don't cook is my food doesn't taste well. That doesn't taste good. It's like so I like eating somebody else's cooking. But again, I think one of the reasons is because I am not a very patient person when it comes to cooking. Right?
Yeah, you
So
got to be patient, go easy on yourself. And to
yes.
Adam's point, you can have two steaks on the same smoker or grill
Mhm.
cooking side by side. They won't cook at the same, temperature, the same pace. One of the steaks might be a little bit thicker than the other one, so it might cook a little bit slower. The actual there's just so much happening inside of the grill, especially if you're cooking with coals. So temperature is constantly changing inside of the grill or the smoker. There's just a lot of variability, happening. So, you do kind of want to make sure you're keeping an eye on things.
Mhm.
Don't walk away too long,
Oh
from
yeah.
your grill or
You have a
smoker.
visitor and then you chat. Oh, I forgot. I'm grilling something.
Right, right. You can have fun and everything, but yeah, don't completely forget about it. But yeah, to his point, things
Mhm.
cook at different temperatures, and again, that's why having like an instant read thermometer,
Mm-mm.
will help.
Helps.
Help
Okay,
you
so
really
on
know
that
what's
note, with
happening.
that, instant read, Tina One Kenobi, okay, my dear crafty sister is asking, oh yeah, the temperature check that I use for, how do you pronounce this? Sous vide?
Sous vide.
Is it the same? Can
The
it be used?
temperature. I think if she's using some type of a thermometer or something with
Mm-hmm.
the sous vide, I think it probably is the same. Something that
Okay.
yeah, if
Can
it's something that will give her an instant temperature reading, then yeah, you can absolutely use the um, same device.
okay. Great. Thank you, Tina, for that question. And Tina, oh, it's okay, sis. Sorry, I forgot. I read your message quite late. Thank you so much for asking as well. And Sam has a joke. I can stare at the steak and it will telepathically relate to me how it needs to be cooked. Ha ha ha. Of course not. Just kidding. It's really making me hungry. I got an Insta Read thermometer on Wish for
Yeah,
$5 and it works great. See?
that's
So
right. That's
no,
all
you
you
don't
need.
need a very expensive branded one. Just something that can actually read the temperature, because it's gonna be the difference between you making an awesome barbecue or making an uncooked or overcooked one, right, Kenyara?
That's right. That's right.
All right. So I know that they are actually now okay, okay, but we want to see barbecue. So guys, just a backstory. When I asked Kenyatta over for Vlogmas, I was asking Kenyatta, can we do like a live video of you doing barbecue? And then she said, Lala, it's winter and it's nighttime. It's gonna be too cold. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot. Because I live in the tropics, right? So anytime for us is actually okay. Even the nighttime, we like to actually go out nighttime in the backyard because it's cooler than going out in the. But of course, Kenyatta is on the other side of the world. Even if he's in the West Coast, it's still cold at nighttime, right?
yeah. It's
Okay.
43 degrees right now where
Exactly.
I
It's
am.
almost zero, right? So, guys,
Yeah.
but don't worry, because, Kenyatta really wants to show you how he actually, a preview of what he does. One of the videos, okay, that we will show you today is one of a similar, okay, thing that he does on his video. So, if you want more recipes, more tips, more techniques, okay, you would want to head on to his channel and we will show that in a little bit. But for now, Kenyatta, we would want to see a sample a video of how you actually do your barbecue.
All right. So, okay, looks like it's showing up okay. So this was actually a video that I did recently on my channel. Here in the United States in November, we celebrated what we call Thanksgiving. And what's kind of cool is that a lot of times the same food that we eat for Thanksgiving is very similar to what we might make for Christmas, which is coming up. So in this video, I did a recipe for a turkey breast, and what I decided to do a turkey breast instead of a whole turkey because
Oh,
doing a whole turkey can be difficult. So a breast is something that's much more manageable, easier. So here I'm showing what I use for the turkey breast rub. So it's
oh.
just here making it myself. It's ground rosemary, black pepper, smoked paprika, kosher salt, and granulated garlic. So I just put all of
If we
those.
don't have the
In,
kosher salt, Kenyatta, just a regular rock salt, okay?
if you do, yeah, if you do like a regular salt or like an iodized salt, I would just say maybe cut back. So maybe like in my recipe, I'm using 1 tablespoon of
Uh
kosher
huh.
salt. So maybe if you're doing, like table salt, maybe cut that back to maybe
Half.
um like like maybe 1.5 teaspoons,
All right.
because you don't want it to be too
Too
salty.
salty. Okay.
And
So now
if it
you mix the rubs, right? You
Yeah,
mix
I just
them.
took my hand and just mixed the rubs together in the bowl, and now
Mm-hmm.
you see I'm just sprinkling the rub over the top of the turkey breast. Going from recollection, before I started putting the rub onto the turkey breast, I did
Mm-hmm.
spray it with the cooking oil, and you
Ah,
can use olive oil, like an olive oil, or vegetable oil or cooking spray, just something, so that the rub will stick to
okay.
the meat. So that's what I did here. And I just sprinkled it all over the turkey rub. And I got my smoker while this was happening. I had fired up the smoker. I wanted to get the smoker up to around 300 degrees Fahrenheit,
Okay.
which I'm guessing, what is that, Lala? Is that like 140, 150
Yes.
Celsius? Okay. And also, the key here is that the turkey breast is not directly over the coals. So you
Yes,
see
I
on
was
the
gonna
left
mention
side,
that. It's like on the so the
yeah,
coals are on one side.
yes. And in barbecue, we call that indirect cooking. So the Yeah, the coals were over on the left. The turkey was off to the other side, not directly over the coals.
Okay.
Because if you do put that meat directly over the coals, that's actually grilling, and you'll cook much it'll cook much faster. So in this case, I'm smoking this turkey breast.
Okay.
I had it off to the side. I think here we're
Wow.
looking at the turkey breast after it had been on the smoker. I want to say probably for 1 hour. And here I am with an instant read thermometer. So I'm checking to see how this turkey breast is doing. I inserted the probe in the thick part of the meat. I don't remember. I think the temperature was probably around 120 degrees
Okay.
internal
So
at that point.
so
So
not
that
yet
just
there.
tells me we're not there yet. Because again, I want to get this turkey breast up to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. So I closed the smoker, let it continue cooking, and then I came back a little bit later, maybe about 45 minutes later, to check the temperature. And I think from looking at it, it looks like it was 151 internal.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm just using that probe, not just trying to look at it and guess what the temperature is. I want to make
So,
sure this
Kenyatta, you
turkey
don't
is
need
safe.
to flip the meat around, like turn it over on the other side. No need for that when you use a smoker or a grill.
It kind of depends on the what you're cooking and how you're
Oh,
cooking it. For
okay.
smoking, usually you don't have
You
to
don't
flip
have.
the meat over.
All right.
And
Wow, good to
especially in
know.
this case with a turkey breast, the other side of the bottom side is actually just the breastplate. So there's really nothing on the other side that would be worthy of
Oh,
getting
okay.
brown or anything. So now what we're looking at, the turkey breast has reached my desired internal temperature of 165. I had let it rest, and now I'm doing my best to cut it. I admit I'm not the best with the knife skills, but look at all that juice. You see all that juice?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is very juicy. It was very flavorful. I to me the best part of the breast is the part that where you can see the rub, the top part. The rub adhering to it, and this recipe. I mean, it really, really works well with turkey. And a lot of times you make turkey and let's be real. Sometimes the worst thing that happens is that turkey is dry. But in
Yeah.
this case, this turkey was far from dry. It
Oh.
was really tender. Um, it turned out great. And I should also mention I didn't have to marinate this turkey either.
Yes. So normally, right, you need to marinate so that the flavor will be also in the inside, not just on the outside, right? Okay. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
sorry. There.
So a lot of times
Okay. This is
for chicken, I will go ahead and marinate it in advance. But
okay.
I found for this recipe, no need to marinate that turkey. It still turned out, it was really juicy and
Wow.
flavorful. And
How I wish
actually,
we can have some.
I was gonna say this is the part of the video that I hate the most.
Why?
When I first started making YouTube videos, I wasn't showing myself tasting the meat,
Uh
but
huh.
then I get all these comments. You gotta show yourself eating the meat. How was it? We want to see. And I just feel
Exactly.
yeah, and I feel really really
Oh yeah.
weird and awkward about showing myself eating on camera. I hate this part.
All right. So thank you so much, Kenyatta. Okay, so we can have you back again. So that
All
is
right.
just okay. One of Kenyatta's video where he actually this was a very recent one, just thanks over Thanksgiving for them in
Yes.
the US, right? The last week, I think it was the 24th or the 25th of November
Yep.
of this year,
That's correct.
right?
Yeah, a few
Okay.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you there are many kinds of recipes for different kinds of things that you need to barbecue. Not just meat. He also has like some fruits. I think just a recent one, right? Also fruits and vegetables.
Vegetables.
Not so much.
I,
Fruits.
actually polled my audience, and people have expressed that they do want to see more videos on different things like
Mm-hmm.
fruits, desserts, more vegetables. Just not just meat. So that is
Exactly.
something I'm going to focus on coming up is more variety of videos, and then also. Yeah, just different types of videos, and then also making different recipes available both on the YouTube channel and on my website.
Okay, and speaking of which, okay, so if you are late, coming in late, or coming on replay, and you weren't able to see some of the tips, some of the things that we've actually talked about, don't worry because you can go to this one. Kenyatta, maybe you want to talk about this one.
Absolutely. So yeah, if you want to learn how to barbecue, I have a free video that you can access that will give you some of those tips of things to avoid. And this will make your process a lot better. So just go to my website, go to this address that Lala is showing, pages.backyardsmokemaster.com / the number one. Just go there, sign up, and I will send you a link to that video. And once you have these easy to follow tips of things not to do, this will help you start your barbecue journey a lot faster and make it a lot
Mm-hmm.
easier.
Absolutely. Guys, it's free and it's perfect, right? In
Yes,
preparation for the holidays, we have Christmas and New Year's Eve coming pretty soon, right? So again,
that's right.
Kenyatta, okay, this is not yet goodbye. We'll still last look at the chat. Okay.
All right,
So
let's do it.
okay. Okay, Sammy is putting the link to actually the actual link, clickable link to Kenyatta's channel over there. And
Oh,
Adam
thank
is saying, "Love
you.
the video. This is great." Yes, same here, Adam. The
Thanks,
production
Adam.
quality is top notch. Yes, I know, daughter. How I wish I can do something similar, right? But we'll get there someday. I hope so. Oh
So
yes,
Lala, I'm inspired actually that your daughter is serving as your moderator. My
yes,
daughter wants to do the same thing for
yes.
my channel, and I haven't been able to figure out how to make that work. So I'll need to
Oh,
connect with
let's
you
talk.
to
Okay,
figure out how to
yes.
do that.
My
Yes,
daughter
because she
has
wants
been
to
my
do that.
even my son when my daughter is not here, my 13-year-old son helps moderate,
Oh, that's
right? So,
great. Yeah, my daughter,
yes.
she doesn't want to be on camera, but she wants to moderate. So I want
Yes.
to figure out how
Yeah,
to
it
make
can.
that
Okay,
work.
let's talk about that, right? And Adam says,
Yeah.
excellent job. Pizza on the grill. Why not? Right?
Yes.
Kenyatta, maybe that's another. Did you already, or do you already have a pizza on the grill video?
I have not made a pizza on the grill, mostly because I haven't perfected it or gotten it good enough that I feel comfortable sharing
Sharing.
it.
All right. So, but
Yeah,
probably okay. So
yeah,
that's one request: pizza on the
but
grill. And we
yeah,
have
I gotta
John.
work on that
Okay, thank you, John. Good day, mommy, and good looking co-host. Thank you so much, John, for dropping by. Now I'm hungry. I can
next
only
time.
grill carrots, squash, and leeks now. It's okay, Miss Wins. Miss Wims, done share, mommy. Again, thank you so much, Kenyatta, and I hope that
Thank
this is
you.
not the last that we will have you back, or that we will have you on the show, and that we would love to have you back with us. So again, for the last time, invite them
Me
over.
too.
Also, you have a new podcast for those who are like in the Philippines, traffic is horrible. So we're mostly always, stuck in traffic. Maybe they also want to, go over your podcast. Okay, invite
I
them over.
do, yeah, yeah. So, in addition to the YouTube channel, Backyard Smokemaster BBQ on YouTube, then there's the website backyardsmokemaster.com, and then if you want to listen, just listen to the podcast. I'm available podcasting on most, available your whatever podcast player you want. It's just Backyard Smokemaster BBQ,
All right.
and you can listen to the podcast as well. I really
Yes.
appreciate that, and thank you, Lola, for having me. And
Oh, you're
I'll
very
come back
welcome.
anytime. Just
And
let
we're
me
very
know when
blessed.
you want me,
Guys,
and I'll come back.
Kenyatta is on Spotify, right? So for Spotify is
Yes,
available in the Philippines and also Apple Podcast, right?
yes.
So you'll get stuck
Spotify,
in
Apple,
traffic.
Google Podcasts. Yeah, I'm
Exactly.
on all of
Yes,
those.
also Google. So if you're trying to, rush for something for the holidays, barbecue is an option, a great option that you can have. All right, Kenyatta, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. Thank you for joining me. And please, let's see each other again tomorrow, December 19th. Again, it's food. This time around with Chef Fred from Australia. Thank you so much again, Kenyatta. And see
Thank
you
you.
guys. Have a great rest of the night or rest of the day.
All right. Happy
Bye.
holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you so much for joining me again today for Vlogmas Day 18. See you again tomorrow. Bye!